Hi guys and gals and kittens, and welcome to the AI Nero Magic Show. In this video I'm going to show you how to get started with magic, and this is the first video in a series of videos where I will walk you through the entirety of the system in an attempt at trying to teach you how to create software using magic. The series is not intended for hardcore software developers, but you really need to learn some of the basics of software development. At the very least, you need to understand what HTTP is, what SQL is, what a database is, and what a file system is, and etc. etc. So you're going to need to know some of the things that software developers knows, but it doesn't require you to know how to create software. However, once you come to magic, this is how it looks like, right? And the first thing you want to do, you want to go to manage, you want to go to plugins, and then you want to search for XPERT. That's our new AI expert system. Then you want to install it. Once you do, this gives you an alternative front end, and that's actually the one you should be using. So now if I click Miscan front end, I come to the AI expert system. And this is probably the place where you do most of your work, really. So now I'm inside of the AI expert system. I've logged in. See, the default model is marked here. If I now ask the system, what can you do? Then the system is going to actually tell me everything it can do. And that's a lot of things. And this actually serves two purposes. One purpose is to show you what the system can do, of course. But actually there's a different purpose too. There's an additional purpose by clicking in that button. And you should do it every time you start with it, because it lists all functions that the system has. So you're kind of like seeding its brain such that you are further its understanding in what it can do. So now let's try to create something for fun. I want to create a small database to manage my tasks. A to-do app suggests a plan. That is a big point. Every time you're talking to the system, if you tell it to suggest a plan, then it's not, most of the times, not going to actually do something. You can specifically tell it, don't do anything, just give me a plan, right? But the point is you want the system to tell you what it is going to do before it does it. Otherwise it might start up on like these big long tasks, never ending stuff. So let's see what it wants to do. Okay, it wants to create a database. Okay, create that database, name it my to-do. Right. So now we're asking the system to create a database for us. What it will do, it will create an SQLite database, name it to do, and apply that schema. And after we've applied the schema, we can say seed that database with some 10 example rows. And what it does now, it basically just inserts random crap for us. So now what I want to do, I want to take this database and I want to create a CRUD API. CRUD is one of those software development acronyms that you simply have to learn. It means create, read, update, and delete. And it is the axiom around which your data actually exists. So now suggests a CRUD API for me, right? Yet again suggests. We don't want it to do anything before we actually acknowledge it's okay. So here it wants to create a new API in tasks. Looks good. Get tasks. I get one task. Post, put, patch. Partially update the task. Drop the patch guy. Put allows for updating to. And drop the get one task guy. Update your plan. Yet again, we wanted to show us its plan before we started on a long job. So now we got get tasks, list tasks, create tasks, update tasks, and delete tasks. And that looks like a simple CRUD API. Okay. Looks good. Generate the files and save them. So now what the system's going to do, it's going to use natural language prompts, pass it into the hyperlambda generator, which is going to be returning valid hyperlambda my to-do know of, which again is going to return valid hyperlambda to the orchestrator LLM, which is then going to save that hyperlambda as an HTTP GET endpoint or put or post or whatever inside of my cloudlet. So now it is my to-do tables. My to-do, then I can mandatory argument schema. Okay, get database schema. Now it's got database schema. Now it's this is get, post, put, delete. Looks good. So now when this process is done, it's like generating one file at a time. We actually have a complete CRUD API wrapped around this single table. Now, of course, this isn't exactly rocket science and probably not the most complex app you've ever seen somebody vibe code in your life. But I'm trying to keep it like dumbed down such that I can illustrate one concept at the time. So let's see where we are. Important. Okay, so it's generated. Okay, I test the API. Remember, we didn't provide auth for the API. We said no auth when it generated the API. That means that the endpoints is publicly open. You should probably never do that for a real app. But that allows us to actually automatically test. Let's see. Let's start by testing. Guru meditation, show me the code for the endpoint. So here we have ID limit, offset order, direction, status EQ, priority EQ, title like. This actually looks correct. So why did it mess up? Title like, there is nothing wrong with the API. Test it again and do it right this time. Let's see what it comes up with now. Let me go back and look in the log here because it's obviously doing something really weird here. No such table tasks. Didn't it create my freaking database? So it's got 0 tables. You schmuck. You didn't freaking create my database. Create it. Add schema. Then create 10 freaking rows. Sometimes you gotta fight it a little bit. Every now and then when I curse at it, actually it comes back and tells me it doesn't want to continue the conversation. So it is frustrating to be a vibe coder because I mean you're putting like so much faith. There you go. Now search for test API. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to go through an entire workflow, allowing me to test the entirety of the API, right? So let's see. Yes. Why do you think I wrote that? And now it works. So you see, actually, a lot of times there's actually more bugs happening with GPT 5.4 than a Hyperlambda generator. So the Hyperlambda generator accomplished its task 100% perfectly, but actually GPT 5.4 wasn't capable of actually invoking it correctly. So now what we want to do, I want to create an AI agent. Then, wait, did you insert rows? Let's verify that it's actually done its job here. Yes, okay. I want to create an AI agent. Name it the same as the module and database and add all of these 4 functions as AI functions to its system instruction. Search! It doesn't always search for workflows when it kind of like needs them. So, but by triggering it like this, it often tends to do its job slightly better. So, I mean, it is a skill issue. Vibe coding doesn't mean you can, leave your brain at the door. Let's see, returned, notice instructions, handling, blah, blah. Yes. Looks good. If you want to, I can do that next. Since AI functions are RAG, did you add them as system instructions? see what it comes up with. Yes, okay, so then we don't need to vectorize. So now actually what we can do, if I now refresh this thing, right, or go to new conversation and then click refresh, you will actually see we now have a new AI agent called my to do here. And if I ask this, what can you do? Hopefully it's going to be listing up that it can actually provide me with data. System and utility, list all functions, to do management functions. Okay, list all tasks. And this is where the magic happens, because now I have an AI agent directly connected to my database, and this is reading live data from my database, and I can apply all 4 CRUD axioms if I want to. I want to create a new item. Right now it's going to be creating a new to-do for me. It's going to need a title. Title is hello world. Description is yo from YouTube. Status is open, and let's do priority is love, and due date today. Let's see if we can successfully actually create an item here and list all items. And now of course our hello world item should be there. And as you can see, here it is. Everything's working 100% perfectly, and you have now created your first AI agent. Now I need to emphasize what I'm going to be doing for this video now. I'm going to be clicking the share button on this guy. I'm going to attach this guy to this video in the comments or description of the video or something like that, at which point you can actually see my prompting. And here you can see the URL here now. So I now have like a permalink that is like, you know, a description of exactly what I did, what the LLM said, what I told it to do, and how I managed to create this to-do app. And that will be in the description of this video if you're interested in reading it instead of looking at me creating it on video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.